Hey, Facebook friends and family, how's it going? Today is the day before Christmas. I was in my office, just got done working out, and I decided not to go back to my office, but I wanted to do a little trip. So, what do I do on the part time when I'm not in my office and working out? I go camping. So, I want you guys to come with me just a little bit. Considering it is roughly around 43 degrees now again. So this is not a planned thing. This is one of those things that I just decided to do because that's just who I am. So, so if you want to see, I got my backpack here. It's an 80 liter. I had everything in there for a whole week. So really what I'm going to do is just take that with me. Let me zip up. Like I said, I just came back from the gym. It's 43 degrees. It's a little overcast, but it's lovely. I like it. So, why am I doing this today? Because normally when I go camping, I'm by myself. I like to use this opportunity to meditate and hang out by myself to get over my days, get over my personal life, get over some of my private life, professional life as a psychiatrist. Hey Jennifer, hey you, how you doing? Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. So just to give you an outlay, I'm at a park. Let me zip this thing up right quick. So yeah, so who am I? Basically I'm at this park, and this is one of the many parks that I go to. I'm gonna take my sweater because it is overcast, and I just got my work clothes on today, and I'm a little wet. So let's go. So just to give you an outline, we're gonna actually go somewhere up there where we come from, just to give you a little roundabout look. That's my car. It's a nice one. So anyway, I wanted to take this time just to simply say thank you to all of my friends and family for another year. Basically, we've been going through a lot of stuff in business. I want to say thank you for all of my investors and everyone for believing in me, in my ability to have a strong business and with some business ideas. And thank you for believing in me and working with me and investing with me. So look at that. That is nice. Just as I expected, no one is out here because everyone is at their family. So why am I not with my family? Well, the truth is, I came back to Wisconsin a while back, and the reason I came back is because my mom was a little ill, and I came back to help, and she passed away, and then I stayed. Originally, I was raised here in Wisconsin. A little muddy, but that's all right. Got a little muddy. So anyway, originally I was raised here in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, Baraboo area. My mom was, well, as I say was, because she's now passed away. She's from Paris, or my bloodline is from France. And so can you imagine, I was raised in an area where she was a white lady in a African American neighborhood with the 10th grade education, and here I was. I'm the only child between my mom and my dad, and growing up in Milwaukee, we lived in the ghetto, I guess you can say. But a lot of people look at me now and will not realize that I was actually in the ghetto, raised up there. Look at that. That sun is trying to peep out. That's awesome. All right. I think I'm going to go out that way. So, yeah, so my mom I was raised up in the ghetto in Milwaukee. And we lived mostly on 38th and North Avenue. So that's where I was raised. Went to school, from Congress, Edison, basically when it was open, I heard it close, and yeah, it's closed. And then graduated from South Division High School. Now, people don't realize a couple of things. One, how poor I really was, raised up. My senior year, I only had one pair of pants. So anyway, but when I was around 14, I really focused on photography, still photography, and videography. So that's how I grew up. Once I graduated high school, I decided to go and tear out to New York. Friends of mine at the time wasn't, but they became friends. And we started a business, sold the business. I went to Mississippi for a little bit. At the time, that's where my dad was. And from there, oh my gosh, look at that. So nice. So, let's see if I can find a spot. So anyway, went to Mississippi for a little while before working for CBS and Fox. And then from there, that's when really I started growing up. Because can you imagine going from nothing to living a life of everything? Yeah. So anyway, this is why I come out here. Look at that. That's nice. So anyway, I'm trying to find this spot. I don't know if it's still here or not. It's been a while since I came out here. So anyway, so I went from raised up in nothing all the way into having, in some people's minds, becoming rich. And then from being rich, eventually, we are here. We're here. So this is that little spot. So what I'm going to do, let's see. Wow, sorry guys. So what I'm going to do is set up my tent and just chill out for a while. The sun, let's see if we can see it. Wow. Boom, right there. It's trying to peek out, but look at all that, all the way around. So anyway, so yeah, I let's load up, unload, and we'll continue the story. One thing about being on top of the hill is that it's very windy, but that's all right. That's why I brought my sweater. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. So what happened? Well, what happened was you can have a lot of money from nothing, but if you don't realize that you need to change your personality, it's never going to work. Now, if you ever do this camping thing in 42 degrees, make sure you do one thing. Don't sweat. It'll be a miserable time here. All right, good. So, perfect. So, let's go and set up. I'm going to see if I can put this camera out here so I can set up my tent. I think I put the camera here. All right, let's see what we can see. I think that might work. So this will take a couple of minutes in doing this. So basically, I think I'm gonna put my sweater on versus this jacket. This jacket is it holds in the sweat, so I don't want to sweat. I want to evaporate a little. All right. Like I said, it's kind of windy out here, but we're gonna make this thing work. Cool. All right, so we'll go over the gear later on. Right now I'm just unloading stuff. Okay. All right. Sleeping bag. Back here. Here. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. All right. That's done. Cool. Think you see better? Maybe. Yeah, that's good. And I can't believe how nice it is out here. It's a nice breeze. Like I said, it's about 42 degrees. It probably would be a little warmer if the sun came out, but it's not, so we deal with it. So for those of you who really don't know me, when I get overstressed at work, what I like to do is come out to something like this, set up a tent, and then just relax and meditate and do my thing out here. Can you see me? Good. All right. So, it doesn't take long for this particular tent. It's aluminum, so it's very durable. And as you see, it just clips on to the rods. Okay. Other side. And as you probably can see, the wind is really blowing it inward, so we're gonna have to stake it down. So that's mostly it. We got another smaller rod right here. That connects there. So that locks that down. Now, the key is, because it's windy, you want to protect yourself from the wind. So we got the cover that we're going to paste on from there. All right. Like I say, the wind is blowing, so I'm going to have to put the stakes in to hold it together. But it's a very good thing. I think I want to put this one a little closer. There we go. All right, a couple more. Okay. Hold the door. Actually, I want to put it on this side. The wind is blowing. Cool. And this be the backside. All right, so that's the tent. As you see, this is, like I said, if you haven't heard in the beginning, this is one of the reasons why I decided to come out here. It's because sometimes in life it gets overwhelming. As a psychiatrist, businessman, it does get kind of stressful, and that's not including the personal life. So when things get overwhelming, what I do, and again, everyone has their own thing, but what I do is I can appreciate coming out here in the middle of nowhere and then just simply relax and meditate and do my thing. So that's all I do. Oh, I tell you, it's been one of those crazy weeks. So anyway, I got my pack. Inside here, I got food, I got water, I got 5 days worth of stuff, sleeping bag, the whole thing. Anyway, so that's what I do. All right, so I'm just zipping this up. So right here, I don't want to close it all the way. Even though the wind is blowing from this direction over, I got that lip to protect it. I still want circulation going through. But when I calm my body down in my sweat and all that, then I'll close it up completely, just so we can hang out. All right, so this is what I do, like I said, when I ain't got nothing else to do, when I stress. Be in mind, you guys really need something to do yourself, guys. Don't just let life overwhelm you and take over and build you up. You really got to learn how to find your niche, find your thing, to go somewhere and literally to hang out and to do nothing. All right, so that's basically what I do when my world gets a little stressful. All right, so as I set the tent up, and as you can see, plenty of light because the sun is still over that direction, and so it's going through the nice yellow. The yellow brightens it up and all that. And so that's it, actually. So let's go back to the story. So when I was raised up poor. What you see now is not realizing that I had to struggle from getting out of poverty into something else. At the time of me doing it, I really didn't know what that something else was. And quite honestly, no one knows until you look back, and then, as Steve Jobs says, you can connect the dots. And so I look back and, wow, life. So I was homeless. I was rich. I was poor. I became rich, and then I became homeless, because one thing that no one teaches you from poverty to becoming rich, no one teaches you how to do two things: invest, and no one teaches you how to be disciplined for that investment. So it was a guy who had absolutely nothing growing up, having unlimited money in his 20s and still not knowing who I was, where I wanted to go in life. All I know was the here, the now, and I was doing my thing. Hey Lopez, what's going on? Jerry, what's going on? Hey Josh, how you doing? So that was the key. So when I decided to get out of the entertainment business, and just simply find myself, what I decided to do, um, personally, at the time also, I got through a divorce because I got married when I was 18, got through a divorce and left two boys. So that put a big scar on me early in my life, when it comes to women and trusting women, because I thought growing up all a man had to do was work, 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 bring home the money, get her a nice house, make sure she has a good job, a car to drive, without realizing there was a lot more. So in my 20 teens, late teens, and early 20s, I got married and divorced at the same time, in a short period of time. Now in my late 20s, I spent all my money. Early 30s, I was literally homeless for 6 months. Um, so being homeless again, I'm re-evaluating myself as far as who am I, where am I going in life, and I realized I had no direction. I had money, I knew how to work 100 hours a week. That was easy, but I had no direction in my life. So what happened was, I ran out of money, and as I ran out of money, I became homeless. How I got out of homeless was the military. And where I was at the time, the military part that I did, it took me literally 3 tries to even pass the simplest test to get in it, and let alone another 3 times to pass to get into my career field or job where I wanted. So why did it take that long? Well, simple, because when I was in high school, nobody pressured me to get good grades. Nobody cared about me. So teachers were just giving me a grade, and I was just simply going to the next one. And eventually they just continued on, and I graduated. Okay, whatever that meant. Had no intentions in going to college. And so therefore, when I was homeless and decided to get out of homeless, I decided to get into the military. It took 3 tries to learn how to get in the military. So once I got in it though, then I realized, oh, I wanted to get into counterintelligence, and I wanted to get into special forces, and I wanted to do this, this, and this. And those had scores, requiring scores. So it took me another 3 or 4 times to even get those scores. So eventually I got in. Eventually I went in. Once I got in, gave it all. And then my life changed again because I was in the military. I was doing things that I couldn't tell nobody I was doing, going places that I couldn't tell nobody where I was going, and I met my second ex-wife. So we had 2 daughters, and they're still in down south, and so in that I thought every time I got deployed, fine, come back, fine, I'm doing my family thing, and so on and so forth. Then all of a sudden, another thing happened. We got divorced. Now, just to give you some more detail, before I met her and after I left my first ex-wife, in between somewhere in my early 30s, I met this lady and we had a baby, and the baby died in my arms. It literally died, took his last breath, and looked me in my eye and passed away. So from homeless, and again, this is just who I am. I'm not saying it just for no other reason except to give context of who I am. So from being poor to rich to homeless to losing a baby to getting married, getting a divorce, going into the military, doing all of those deployments and undercover stuff. And then from the military, my mom got involved and I had to take care, and she passed away. So now I'm back in Wisconsin, And everyone is looking at me now. Very few people knew who I was then. And so when you look at me now, you think, oh, and I'm just going off of what people say. He's an a-hole. He's conceited. He's arrogant. He has no heart. He has this, and this. But they don't realize, and when I say they, I mean just people in general, they don't realize where I've been. What bothers certain people don't bother me because I've been through worse. Military, if you've been in overseas and deployed, really? 1, 2, 6, try 6. You know, missions and so on. Having a baby, and then the baby dying in your arms, there is nothing that can compare to that pain. Losing and the first love cheating on you, and you losing your boys at the time where there's no internet, no phone, no cell phones, no nothing. And so that scar, that pain was built up. And when it was built up, the present state of who I am now is not true, because they think and they judge me for now. So, and at the same time, military, going to school, they paid for the bachelor's, got into the master's, and got my PhD, worked on another PhD. So I have 2 PhDs, which is divinity, and then the other one, psychiatry. Decided to start in investing. So me and my dad and my uncle, we started into real estate. My dad retired, and I started again continuously acquisitioning businesses. And now this year I'm 49. Next year I will be 50. And by the grace of the good Lord, I did not die nowhere in that field. So I stay healthy and I stay balanced. Now, my healthy and my balance, it may not be to someone else's healthy and balanced, but my lesson learned in life is simple. You have to find balance for you, and in balance, you have to step away from reality for whatever reality is, and then find yourself, and then move from there. People, as we all know, and the older we get, we know, people will let you down. That's just nature. But if you have a goal in life, if you have a purpose in life, if you have a mission in life, yes, they will hurt you. And yes, you probably will hurt them. But at the same time, you're trying to find the best that you can find to do and help you go where you're trying to go in life. And sometimes it's just not there. And it just can't work. But you live and learn. No matter what you do, though, give 100%. Don't lie. And, well, let me define me. When I say don't lie. Anyone who knows me, and you can probably talk to those 2 women that I've been posting out lately, they know that counterintelligence is in the ability to take intel and make it whatever you want it to make it. So I've used it in the context of finding a person's heart, how they really feel towards me. And so I might do something that might not be real, but in perception is real, and they will react to it. And when they react, I know their realness, and then we can go from there. So I use my training, I use my experiences to, I guess you can say, test a person. But in doing that, hey, that's the way life goes, right? You do what you can. So that's, in a nutshell, that is who I am, where I come from. So I was raised in Wisconsin, traveled every state when I was truck driving, and traveled half the world in the military, and went to school, became civilized, as they say. But every now and then, you just got to get back to your roots. All right, so that's me. I'm just going to spend a couple hours out here just to meditate and be thankful and do my thing, and then wrap it up and head back out to the office. For those of you who are going to be with friends and family, I wish you all the love and thanks for it. Have a merry, merry, very merry Christmas. Um, and at the same time, tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow, while you guys are with your family, which I love that you guys will be doing that. I will be at my office. So if you want to just shoot me a happy Thanksgiving, I mean, happy Christmas, by all means, let me know you're out there. And I appreciate you guys. So that's just me opening up a little bit, bring a little content. And this is the first year actually using social media in this avenue. And I realized lately that there's no content in who I am. Nobody really knows who I am. So I wanted to give this opportunity just to say a little something. 2020 is going to be like the rest of my years, but it's the choices we make. Make a better choice. If you make a better choice, a better outcome will come. All right. So this is Dr. Bagley signing out. Thank you for coming with me for all this time. And I appreciate you guys. I'm watching you guys, and you guys are doing some great stuff. Manuel, excellent food, brother. I wish I was there eating some of that. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.